Hello everybody, this is Howard the Teaser King. I just wanted to recap week 14 in the NFL. Had a huge week. I went 12-2 on my picks, 10-3 on my teasers, 3-1 on my locks. Just a huge week. And like I said, I was trying to explain the games when I looked at them were like pocket aces and pocket kings. I won 3 locks, I lost 1, and the locks were like very strong plays. But I have other strong plays just because I don't lock a game, such as Minnesota over Jacksonville, such as Philadelphia against Washington, or the Giants against Dallas. Those are all very strong plays. I played them in multiple teasers. So don't think that it's only the lock is this great play that'll win, but the other plays aren't really good. All my plays are very strong, or I won't play them. They've got to be at least a minimum of an 85% in my trend analysis, which is looking at past performances and how they're doing this year, as well as do they need a team game for the playoffs, injuries, and things like that. So that's why some weeks I can't find that, so I don't have as many plays, or the plays aren't as strong. And like I was explaining, they're not pocket aces, but when I see pocket aces, pocket kings, really strong. These are like 95% trends. Detroit against the Bears. The New Orleans Tampa was a huge trend for New Orleans, and it came in. Giants and Dallas was a huge trend on the Giants, and they win the game straight out. So I mean, that's what I'm doing, but I figured out the variables needed for doing this for such a long period of time since the 70s, 1970s. I would lose a game and I would ask myself, why did I lose it? And I dig in, and there was one game, I was in Vegas in the 1980s, and Cincinnati was playing Philadelphia. Boomer Esiason was quarterback on Cincinnati. Philly was home laying 7. I think Randall Cunningham was the quarterback of Philly. And Philly's laying 7, and I hit all my other games, and I'm waiting on Philly -1 to win a couple of teasers. Cincinnati beats them. And I said, boy, it would have been nice if I would have known how Cincy is as a road dog and how Philly is as a home favorite. And that's kind of how it started, me tracking the personalities of the team. And then there was another game where the Rams with Eric Dickerson went to New England. And the Rams were pretty good. They were a playoff team at the time in New England. I think he had Grogan. I think they were a pretty good team. Anyway, I think New England was a 4-point favorite. That was like 1980. And the Rams won the game, like 27-20 or something like that. And the thought kept crossing in, had I known, if the Rams were this strong dog and New England was a weak home favorite, I wouldn't have played that. I would have got off of that, and I would have played the Rams as the dog. Or Cincinnati, Philly, I would have played Cincy as the dog. And that's really how I think. I analyze, and I'm really hard on myself when I lose, but I really look for, why did I lose? What could I have done to prevent it? I lost this week, Indy against Houston. Why did I lose it? Well, Indy was 10-1 against Houston in Indy. Houston was a terrible road dog. Houston was 12-0 against this year, and I said, well, there's nothing I could have done. It was just some turnovers by Indy. It's not like Luck didn't play. It's not like T.Y. Hilton didn't play. So that game, there was nothing I can do. It's just I got pocket aces, and the guy flopped a set on me. It's just football. There's turnovers. There's nothing I could have done to prevent that game. But I do look at it. Why did I lose it? And and I hit the Giants Dallas. It's the same trend. The Giants were 20, and the dog in that series was 20-4. The Giants as the dog was like 14-2 or something. So it was like, it's the same bet. It just, that one won and the other one lost. But I've got the right analysis going. When I say I go 12-2. In my teasers, I actually went 13-2 because I trapped the New England game. Okay, quickly on the trap. I had the Giants and Baltimore in a teaser. Giants win, so I got Baltimore in 13. So, I'm afraid of New England. They're a good team, obviously, Tom Brady, and they're good at home. And the trend on Baltimore was huge. Baltimore is 13-0 as a road dog, now 14-0 as a road dog. And New England's not that, when they win at home, but they don't always cover at home. And so I went to Baltimore instead. Yeah, I could have played New England -1, but then I trapped it. So I had New England -6.5 yesterday, and I had the Baltimore in 13 to close the trend. So you can only trap when you're closing the teaser. So New York had won, the Giants, so Baltimore closes it. I don't want to risk that too much. I think I had two 7-unit teasers, so two like $700 teasers, 1,400. So I played 900 on New England. If New England blew them out and they were blowing them out, I would have lost 5. Had Baltimore cut it to 3, won by 3, I would have won 14 and lost the 9. I would have won 5. As it turns out, I got the nice touchdown at the end. I win the 9 on New England, and I win the 14 on Baltimore. I win 23. And that's the beauty of the trap. You can't lose because one of them had to win, right? Once the Giants won, either Baltimore wins or New England wins. One of them has to. So I'm either going to win 5 if Baltimore and the teaser is there, lose 5 if New England blows them out, but you think Baltimore is such a good road dog, that probably won't happen. Or, in the best case, I won both sides, so I win 2,300. But I couldn't have lost 2,300. The worst I could do is lose 5 if New England had kept blowing them out. So that's the example of the trap, or what you do. What else? Yes, I analyze every game the same. I was asked, do you just analyze the ones in the video and you don't analyze the rest? No, I analyze the whole. I analyze the whole picture. I analyze every game. Some games I'm more comfortable with. Some teams I'm more comfortable with. So, like the Jets and San Francisco, I like the Jets in the game, but I'm not comfortable playing the Jets. And there were so many other good games. I didn't play them, but the Jets, even the Jets won because Frisco can't beat anybody, and you can't make them the favorite. So I look at every game. My locks are just higher percentage that I like them. They're just a stronger play in my mind. I like the team better and their role and who they're playing against. Like I locked Cincinnati against Cleveland because Cincinnati, I'm really going against Cleveland, but in this head-to-head, Cincinnati had blown them out 4 times in a row, so I felt good with Cincinnati. Cleveland was a bet against team. They're 12-0 betting against Cleveland this year. And so in the rivalry, Cincy beats Cleveland, and everybody's beating Cleveland, so you bet against them. So I felt really good. Strong Cincy against weak Cleveland. They're strong Cincy in the sense when they played Cleveland, they beat them. So that's what I'm looking at. I do every game, but you don't have to just buy the locks. Like I keep recommending, I would buy the whole NFL. The locks are $77, but if you buy the NFL for $100, you get the locks anyway. But you get all my strong plays, such as Minnesota, Jacksonville. I had them in 2 teasers. I really loved the game. I didn't lock it, but I still, loved the game. Had them strong, but I didn't lock it. But that's why I'm saying, so you still want games like that I don't lock versus, just the 4 lock games that I played. So you would have went 3-1 on the locks, but you would have missed the strong plays, and it's just $23 more for 77 versus 100. So anyway, I'm just trying to, explain a lot of things that I get questioned on. A lot of times you've got to be aware I will add games. Like on Saturday night, I added the Denver game because I was pretty sure Simeon was going to play, and I liked them as a dog against Tennessee. And, I kind of heard he was probable Saturday night, so I added the game. I'm not like the other handicappers who just, write 3 games, take this, take Minnesota 5-star, take Philadelphia 3-star, and Chicago 3-star. and that's it. And you can't talk to them, and you know you don't really know why they picked it. I'm very upfront about that. So, and I say, if I hear news like Simeon's playing on Saturday, I will add it. Last night I added the New England trap after the Giants had won. I don't know, it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, okay, I'm going to play New England as the trap. So you've got to go to the site, you know, before the games. I added one game Sunday. Once I knew Luke Kuechly wasn't playing and I knew Simeon was, I played a San Diego-Denver trap. Now, San Diego lost, but without Kuechly, I thought San Diego 9, they're a great road dog. They would play well, and they almost did. They had that 100-yard interception return called back, but had they done that, then they would have got a W also. So, again, it was a good week. I definitely play 5-team teasers, 10-team teasers. And really what you do when you do that is you're trying to trap at the end. So you'd have played it with Baltimore, and then you would have trapped New England for half the value. So if it's, I've been playing $50 to win $1,500 for like 10 or 11 team teaser, and I keep missing by one. And but if I can get to the end, then I'm going to trap it. So let's say it's 50 to win 1,500. I'll bet 750 on the Monday night and on whoever is on the other side, and then I have to win because I either win 750 and lose 50, or I win the 1,500 and lose the 750. So that's the best way to play these multiple team teasers. I'm working on it on the site to get it. Right now it was programmed in 2-team teasers, and there's really, I got to talk to my programmer, and he's got to have time where it'll be just unlimited. If I want to play a 5-team teaser, I'll show you. I'm even thinking, and I'm not quite sure, of just putting all the games I like on there and just putting like zeros next to the weaker game, like the Jet game, and just here's all 14 pro teams, here's who I like, and then put down, okay, here's my lock, so not to get confused. So that way, because I'll get questions, who do you like in this game, who do you like in that game, and I could basically pick all the games, put them on the site, and then we'll get down to the money games. Here's my lock, 11 units, 15 units. Here's my strong plays, 9 units or whatever, and off we go from there. So anyway, those are a few of the things I've been getting questions on. I just wanted to clear that up. But definitely I do add picks, but it's all based on the news. So if all of a sudden somebody gets injured, like Denver, all of a sudden Simeon's playing. I like Denver with Simeon. But I wanted to wait for the injury, so I waited till Saturday to play them. So you must understand that with me. I'm just listening to the news, and I'm acting as if I'm in Vegas. I would run up to the window half hour before the game and make a bet, and that's all I'm trying to do here is as if I'm active, as if I'm there. So that's really what you do. Why do I say like I'm 12-2 in my picks versus my teaser picks? I'm really just, that's the key to it. If I pick the games right, then the teasers take care of themselves. And when I say now I'm 134-31, believe me, it's extremely difficult, even with the teaser, to go 134-31 in your picks. And I'm not trying to say the teasers to differentiate. It's a different animal. If I can pick 81%, I'm going to pick a lot of teasers right. If I can pick 81%, I mean, if I can't pick 81%, my teasers aren't going to win. Now, the teaser percentage is totally different. If I go 8-2, which is 80% on a day, let's say I were to play 5 teasers, because I have 10 teams, I'm going to win 3 teasers and lose 2 teasers. I have to lose 2 teasers. I went 8-2, yet I hit 80%. So what I've discovered over the years is that would be 3-2, and I'd win net 1 unit. And if I played every game, every teaser the same amount for $100, I'd win $100. Well, that doesn't do anything for me. So what I do, and the reason I say my total pick percentage, is because I'm comfortable that I'm going to pick 80% in my picks. Now, how do I put them into the teaser? And that's really what I'm trying to say with that is, man, I'm going to pick 8 out of 10. It allows me to play 5-team teasers with confidence that hopefully I'll avoid the 2. I'm spending most of the time trying to find the 2 losers and kick them out versus finding the 8 winners. I can find 8 winners all day. But really the key to the teasers, and if you look at my history, is I play a team in 2 teasers. I played Detroit in 2 teasers, Cincinnati in 2 teasers, New Orleans in 2 teasers, Indy in 2 teasers. And so when they do lose, I'm winning more of the other games and it offsets the loss. So people ask me, well, what about your teaser percentage? I don't care about the teaser percentage because I differentiate the amounts. So therefore, if I play an 11-unit teaser and a 5-unit teaser, and I win the 11 and I lose the 5, I break even percentage-wise. I'm 50%. But because I played one for 11 and one for 5, I'm up 6 units. And that's what I'm looking at is the units or the dollars. It's a $100 unit, it's $600. And I went and I picked 2 winners, and let's say I went 1 and 1 in my picks on the $500 one, because that's why it's 5. I don't like it as much. So I ended up going 3 and 1, which is 75% with my picks. But even though I'm 50% in my teaser, I've won a lot because I picked it for a better amount or a better unit. The stronger play wins, the weaker play loses. And then I played teams in 2 teasers. So I don't count if I had Detroit in 2 teasers and they won last week, or New Orleans or whoever. I don't count it twice. It's just one winner. Detroit won. But if I had them in 2, 3, 4 teasers, I don't count each teaser as a win or loss. I'm just counting that. And that's the key to why I win and how to win betting teasers. Because, I mean, you could go 3 and 1 and break even every week because you win 1 teaser with 2 teams. And then you have your loser and your winner. So you pick 3 winners and 1 loser and you broke even 50%. So I've realized that a long, long time ago that you can't bet teasers like that. And therefore I don't really look at the percentage. I look at the units and I look at the amounts and how many units or how many dollars I'm up. That's what I'm tracking. That's the key to it. So when I put Detroit in 2 teasers, Detroit only won once. They didn't win twice, but I put them in 2 teasers. If both teasers win, now I got to just pick 3 teams, right? So Detroit, New Orleans, and Cincinnati, let's say. So I hit Detroit and New Orleans. I hit Detroit and Cincinnati. I've won 2 teasers, but only with 3 teams. Now, Indy is a loser, and I have them in 2 teasers. So I've won 3 teasers and lost 2 teasers with my thing. So I'm up 1 teaser. It's not cut and dry picking 80% in teasers or 50% in teasers. I could go 10% picking teasers. But as long as I hit my big game and I lose my little game, then we're going to make money. So I could hit an 11-unit play and lose 3 3-unit plays. That's 9. I've won 1, so I've won 11 minus 9. I've won 2 units. And I went 1 and 3 in my teasers. That's why the percentage is meaningless in the teasers. And you must understand that. So the correct way to play teasers, so what I'm showing you is 2 things. One, I can pick 80% picking the picks in a teaser. And that's huge. Secondly, you've got the information, how do you use it? And the best way to use it is to put the stronger games in the 2 teasers. Now the stronger games are based on the trends. Why did I play Detroit-Chicago? Detroit was 7-0 and the favorite in Detroit, and the favorite was 14-0 in the series. That's a huge trend. I'm going to lock that trend. It's a 14-0 trend. Detroit was 11-1 in a teaser, and the Bears were terrible as a road underdog. So not only are they bad, but Detroit's good at home, Chicago's weak on the road, but when they play each other twice a year, the favorite's 14-0 in Detroit. So now that's the game I lock. Now, what's been happening is some of the locks I've been losing, but you can see the quality of the lock's there. It's not, what am I going to do with it? It's a strong play. That's not the point. But that's why I play it for more money in multiple teasers. And over the course of the year, I'm going to be way ahead if I keep finding 14-0 trends that they're obviously going to come in. And I keep referring to poker and pocket aces because when you get pocket aces, you think, oh, I'm going to win this hand. And you win it 8 out of 10 times probably, but you do lose it once in a while. So that's what's happening with sometimes in my locks. But then my secondary plays, the Denvers as a dog, the Minnesota over Jacksonville, I don't want to lock them, but they're very strong plays also, and so I'm winning those. So you got to look at the whole picture, and you don't look at it for 1 week. It's like sitting at the poker table, and you play for an hour, and then either you win or you lose. And you lose at poker. Well, I got to quit. I lost. Or you win at it and go, oh, this is easy. I'm going to win every time I play. It's unrealistic. This is gambling. This is statistics and probability. I'm predicting and handicapping future events. 80% is outstanding, and yes, it's not for the teaser, it's for the pick, but the picks are what makes the teaser. So if I can't do 80% of my picks, and I've never gone this strong in my picks. This is why I can, when I say I'm 134 and 31, it's unbelievable. That is not an easy thing to do at all. I mean, it's an extremely difficult thing to pick that strong. Usually I'll have a few bad weeks in here. Usually I have 1 or 2 perfect weeks where I'll go like 10-0, and then I have 1 or 2 weeks where I'll go 7-7, and then the rest is like 10-2 and some 9-3s and maybe some 8-4s. And I've just not, and knock on wood, I hope I don't jinx myself, I've not had that bad week. My worst week was a 7-4 week on week 8. Everything else has only been 2 or 3 losses and a lot of 1 losses. So that's why I say my pick, and it's not a single teaser. Somebody called it a single teaser. It's not. It's the pick, but the picks are what makes up the teaser. So if I can't pick those at 80% or 75%, I can't. Then you can't win. I'm not saying my teasers are 80% or 75%. Because they can't be. I mean, you can't. You'd have to go 4-1 on your teasers, which means you'd have to pick 9 out of 10, basically to go 80% in teasers. And to prevent that, because that's almost impossible, what I do is put the one team in multiple teasers and for more amounts. So now if I can hit a couple of big games, then I have the loser, and hopefully that's a lesser game and it's bet lesser, and so you have it. So I just assume I'm going to go 8-2. That means I'm going to have 2 losing teasers and I'm going to have 3 winning teasers. But if I bet it properly and I put the team in multiple teasers, and that's why you see me with the Giants in 2 teasers, the Lions in 2 teasers, New Orleans in 2 teasers last week, is because I want to. When I did lose Indy, I think I was 10-3 in my teasers last week. So therefore, when I did lose Indy, I won it. I made up for it picking all these other games and for proper amounts. So we were big winners last week. Now we've had bad weeks when the big games have been losing, but the percentage of why I picked it was very true and very good. Like the Michigan-Ohio State under. That game should have been under. It was very unlucky. It went to overtime, and then they scored touchdowns, and it ended up over. But I'd bet that game under 99 times out of 100. I mean, it's an under game. It should have went under, but it didn't. But that's kind of the luck that's been happening on some of my big locks, and that's what's been hurting. But the logic is there, and the reasoning's there. So anyway, when I'm a high-level analyst, and I'm a mathematician, so when I do this, you're getting very strong trend plays. And yes, every game I map out. Some games I can't find an answer to, like Seattle Green Bay. I couldn't find an answer. Green Bay was not a strong home dog. Seattle's not a strong road favorite. I ended up playing the game over because I know Green Bay's got a good offense and no defense, and Russell Wilson should have scored more. So I just thought that game would be a high-scoring game. I know people were concerned about the weather, but it's Green. As long as it's Green Bay and Green Bay's playing, they know how to handle the weather, so you can't worry about it. If it was Miami coming up north, yeah, they're probably gonna not play too well. But so there's a lot going on. But the picks are all solid, and like I say, it's a lot of picks. I mean, I'm picking 10, 11 picks, and you can certainly put them in your own teasers. I'm just giving you my opinion, and I'm giving you what I think is how I play them, and this is how I play them. But you can certainly, if you don't like a game, don't play it. If you, I hope I talk you out. Like if you like Dallas, and I say, hey, Giants are a really strong play, then maybe you don't play the game, because I'm saying, and I'm not taking sides, I'm just saying, hey, the Giants are the play here. So if you like Dallas, maybe you watch, maybe you play Dallas for less, or you go with me and you take the Giants. But I'm not forcing you to go with me, but I'm giving you, this is my opinion by all my trends and all my analysis of all my experience of doing this for 40 years or whatever. Since really I started betting when I was like 8 years old, but from 77 I started doing teasers. So you've got all that experience with me, and this is what I'm coming up with. So yeah, I mean, they should all win. I'm expecting 100% when I play, but I'm realistic to know I'm hitting 80, and that's why I say, here's my number, 80%. But like I said, you're not going to pick 80% in teasers. That's virtually impossible to pick 10 teasers and hit 8 and only lose 2. If you play 10 teasers, well, let's just say you go 4-1, 5 and, well, what's, if 8 and 2, so it's 4-1. So you play 10, that's 90%. You're not going to do that. And if you play 10 teasers and go 8 and 2, that's 80%. But again, then you're going 8 and 2 is 10 is 20 teams. Well, you're not playing 20 teams. You don't have 20 teams here. Granted, you can play teams in multiple teasers. So like I said, I went 10-3 in my teasers this week. I might have been 9-3 with the New England winning, but I think I was 10-3 in multiple teasers. But again, I'm putting teams in multiple teasers for a reason. I'm trying to cover up the loser, which I assume I'm going to have. And there's really nothing I can do. There was no way I could get away from Indy last week. They needed it. They own Houston at home. There's no way I can get away from that game. I maybe couldn't have locked the game, but Indy was 10-1 at home against Houston. So there's no, it's very, that would be the only thing, and that's why I'm selective. Do I really want to lock the game versus playing it like the locks are 11 units, 15, 20 units, where the strong games are like 9 units or 11 units sometimes. So it's like, do I want to play it as a lock, or do I want to play it as a 9 unit, or play it in a couple of 7 units? And that's really what I struggle with, is who's going to be the loser here. And I was sure on Detroit, Cincinnati, and New Orleans. I knew they were gold. Denver would have been a lock had Simeon been healthier early. Minnesota, I thought about locking. So, it gets to the point, how many do I lock? But then if I don't lock it, I play it in a strong teaser. But again, that's what I'm looking for, the strong plays with the strong teams, or betting against the weak teams and playing it like that. But that's how you bet teasers. And that's why you see multiple teams and multiple teasers. The more teasers you play, the better it is, odds-wise. Now if you have 4 losers, then you're going to really kill yourself. But that happens. But so you try to limit your amounts. And again, when you're betting, you got to change your unit amounts. I mean, I want you to bet 10 teasers. You got to reduce your limit, your unit. So maybe your unit's 100. You got to make it like a $50 unit, and maybe you're playing $150. Maybe your 7 units $150. Maybe your 9 units $200 or $250. Maybe your 11 units $300, and maybe the real big lock is maybe $500. That's how I play it. I base my units. Now as I build my bankroll, my $500 bet becomes a $1,000 bet. Like at the end of the year, my lock will be 1,000. Then my strong plays will be like 500 or 600, and my regular plays will be 1 and 200. And that's kind of how I progress. So I always say build your bankroll. The other lesson is if I'm up $600, let's say, and there's one game left, I don't bet more than 200 or 300 on it. I don't care how strong it is, because my goal is to win for the week. So if I'm up 6 and I got one bet for 300 out there, I'm going to win. Even if it loses. 600 minus 3 is 300. I've won, and then I can build my bankroll, and I got my confidence, and then next week I keep going, and I just try to win each week, and that's really the goal here. That's why sometimes if an early teaser loses, but I still, like, it's an early game with a late game, but I really love both games, and the early game lost, I'll play the late game in another teaser with the Sunday night or the Monday game, because I still love the game, but it got hurt by losing the first game, so I will play it. Now it's just, you can see everything on the board, so if there's, I don't know, if Indy was playing with Seattle over and Indy lost, and I still love the Seattle over, I'd play the Seattle over with the Giants. So just know that's what I'm going to do on my picks, is if the early game loses, I'm going to bet it again, because I like all the plays I've made. There's no, it's not like I'm playing a game I don't like. It's just sometimes I'll play it for less units because of who the team is or who they're playing. I get a little scared taking the Giants against Dallas because it's Dallas, but I still play the Giants, but instead of playing an 11-unit lock on the Giants, I play them for 7 units. And that's what I do. So that's what I'm looking to do anyway, is, be respectful. Like Baltimore, I didn't go crazy with Baltimore against New England, but I made sure I trapped with New England because, of course, New England scares me. Of course, they win at home. But Baltimore plays them tough and is a good dog, and that's why I took Baltimore. And so I got lucky where they both won, but I certainly insured myself with trapping New England straight minus the 6.5. So these are all, teasers are very, very good bets if you know how to bet them and you're careful with your money management and how to play your units. And that's really the key to it. And that's why I play a lot. And that's why I say, when I say I'm 134 and 31, it's to say, look, I'm picking 81% now in my picks. So when you play teasers with me, you're going to get 8 and 2. That's why I say it, and that's true. And you can see on my history, if you look at the pick, you'll see 8 and 2. You'll see last week 12 and 2, 13 and 2 if you count the New England straight. But we're just talking teasers, 12 and 2. You can see it. My losers: San Diego, Indy. Everything else I ran the table with. You can see it on the site. So it's all factual and it's all there. And that's my point, though. But I'm going to bet these stronger plays in 2 teasers because I know I'm going to lose 2. I'm hoping I put them together, but if I don't have them together, that's 2 teasers or 3 teasers that are going down. So I got to have enough on the other hand. If everything else wins like it did last week, I'm going to win 7, 8, 9 teasers and lose 3. I net out 6 teasers plus the higher amounts I'm winning. That makes it even more because by varying my amounts, a $500 bet and a $100 bet, I'll be happy to go 50-50 there as long as I win the $500 bet. So that's what you try to do. So really, that's teasers, master's level teasers. That's what you're doing. You're taking that 80% you're hitting, and you're trying to map it out into the teaser. And that's really the hardest part. That's where really I'm very effective, is to try to feel the game, to know similar, like Detroit and New Orleans were locked together because I really felt like these are very strong plays. So the key is to find, I can find 8 winners out of 10 games, but it's putting them together for the proper amounts. And that's really where the art is, and that's really where I come in. And I agonize over, well, who should I put it with? And sometimes I'll change my pick, and I'll go, well, wait, no, I don't like, wait, there's a chance, Baltimore could lose to New England. Let's not put it high up. Let's put it down. There's a chance the Giants could lose to Dallas. So let's put those two together. Detroit should kill Chicago. Cincinnati should kill Cleveland. New Orleans should definitely hang in with Tampa. And Indy should have beaten Houston. Okay, so let's put those together. Let's put the sure games together. Creating the lock, creating the bigger bet, creating the multiple teaser. So the real key is putting the teams together, and that's what I do exceptionally well at a very high level. But the teaser percentage, I don't know. I don't even want to keep track of that. I keep track of the teaser amount, and that's what I have on my site on the history page. It says I'm up, whatever I'm up. I was like 30. I'm probably about 25, somewhere in that 25, 26 neighborhood. But that's for the whole year. So if you play me the whole year, you're up 25, 26,000 units, whatever that means. But you're definitely way up. But if you play me for a week and I lose, that's like playing one hand of poker and losing, going, I'm not good at it. You got to look at what I am, how I do it, the art of putting the teams together, the art of picking the teams. I have all that, and then it's just a matter of putting them together and then figuring out the amounts, and that's what I do very, very well, and I've been doing it for a long time. So that's Teaser King at a glance. This week is fairly strong. I think I have 3 or 4 locks. I think I have 4 locks. Not as strong at games as I had last week. Last week everything was aces and kings and queens. This week I got more pocket 9s and pocket 10s and ace queen and ace jack. I do have a few pocket aces, but in the over-unders I'm looking at some pocket aces on the over-unders, more so than the games. So that's what I'm looking at. So anyway, have a great week, and I'm just trying to answer questions that people have where I can broadcast it on YouTube, and I want everybody to feel comfortable. This is what it is. I pick a large percentage of games properly, and it's just fitting them in the teaser. That's that's really the hard part, and that's really what I do very, very well, is just feeling the game, going, this game's going to win, but who do I put them with? And that's why sometimes I play them in 2 or 3 teasers. I go, man, I really like this team. Oh, I really like this team, and I really like that team. So I take this team with that team, this team with that team. So I'll play, I really like Detroit to win. I'll put them with Cincy, and I'll put them with New Orleans, and because I'm looking for pairings. Who do I play New Orleans with? Oh, I really like Detroit. Let's put them together. Oh, well, wait a minute. I like Cincinnati. Let's put them with Detroit. And that's really what it's all about, is that feel of who do I mix it with. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a great day. Good luck to you this week. www.teaserking.com. As I said, I'll have the bowls for $100 for all the bowls. If you want to buy the rest of the year in the pros, it's $500 now, but I'll reduce it to $300. If you buy the month, you'll get everything through the playoffs. I'll make that. So anyway, good luck to you. Again, www.teaserking.com. Thank you very much.